mode
around the world. We'll go into more details around how to get started, etc. And we have Jean here from Australian Post, as well as Ray from World First. Will be presenting their sessions after the intro of global selling. So today's key takeaways: get to know about sell on Amazon, the opportunities to hear the stories of successful sellers, especially from Australia and New Zealand region, as well as to learn how to get started. So we'll start by giving you an overview on the opportunity. So as you may know, Amazon has, globally, we have 11 marketplaces. We have 5 in North America, we have 3 in North America, that's Canada, US, Mexico, and 5 in Europe, including UK, Germany, Italy, Spain, and France. And also we have 3 in Asia, that's India, China, and Japan. So although we only have presence in these 11 countries with which we're selling physical goods, we have actually buying customers from 189 countries that are actually purchasing on these marketplaces. So worldwide, we have over 300 million worldwide active customer accounts, and we have fulfillment centers in 125 fulfillment centers across the world that will be able to help you simplify your logistics solutions. And of course, we're no longer just a bookseller. We have more than 30 categories of products which are open for merchants to list their products. And the benefits of sell on Amazon, it's not only a new sales channel, so it helps you open up more customer base outside of your domestic market. And also you get to benefit from an established and trusted brand. So Amazon ranked as #1 in reputation from a Nielsen survey in 2016. And Amazon also provides tools and services to help you simplify and scale your business across different countries. Also, on the right side of the screen, you'll be able to see a quick survey that's launched in US by Bloomberg, which shows that over 55% of the online shoppers actually start their search on Amazon. So if you want to expand your sales channel and you want to build a global brand, Amazon would be a good choice for you to get things started and get more customers. Now here we have a few success sellers from Australia. So I would like to highlight Ram City. So Ram City actually started their online business. The owner started the business as a part-timer and decided to go in 2013. They started the part-time business and decided to go full-time a couple years later. And in 2015, they started to sell on Amazon after they launched a new product and realized through their own website, it's actually more sales coming from US versus domestic Australia. And after they started to sell on Amazon, within 1 year, they actually made 1.6 million in sales on Amazon using fulfillment by Amazon solution. So we'll go into more details on what type of services Amazon offer to help you grow your business. And you can also check out our Facebook page to find out more details around the seller stories. And Sheridan Swimwear would be another success story, which transformed from a successful domestic retail business brand into a global brand, leveraging the success of Amazon fulfillment solution. And what are the steps that you need to take in order to start your sell on Amazon journey? So simple 4 steps. First, you need to create a seller account. So we recommend that you start with the North America selling account. So we offer a unified opportunity where you can sign up 1 seller account and access to all 3 countries. Now, please note that if you want to sell in Mexico, the listings needs to be in local language. So in this case, if you sell in US, Canada, and Mexico, the Mexico listings needs to be translated in Spanish. So now, in order to reach out to your end customers worldwide, make sure you have great product listings. So we'll go into more detail as well on the basics of a good product listing. After you start to sell, there are tools that can help you drive traffic to your product listings. So Amazon sponsored products would be one key tool that you can use. This is a keyword targeted ads. So you can, similar to Google ads, so you can decide how much you want to spend on what type of keywords to promote your product. We've recently also launched two additional merchandising opportunities. One is called Lightning Deals, and the other is called Best Deals, to help you boost your sales and reach out to more customers. Now, for a lot of global sellers, they would wonder, I'm sitting outside of US, very far away. How do I fulfill my orders in the global opportunity? So for Amazon, we actually offer a solution called Fulfillment by Amazon, which means you can send in your inventories into our warehouse worldwide, and then we will be able to fulfill locally your orders within that country. So about creating an account, we have a link here where you can, sorry, apologize for that. So for the creating an account part, so there will be two types of account. One is what we call professional account. So it's about $39.99 US per month. We'll introduce the fee structure later as well. So you'll only be required to provide an email address when you first start to creating the account. And you can use the link listed here, or scan the QR code, and we will also be able to send you a follow-up email with all the details. Now, after you've created the seller account, make sure the product that you plan to list in the US market are compliant with local requirements and regulations, especially if you are selling consumable products such as food or cosmetics. The products that you eat or put on your skin, there are very strict regulations around this type of product in the US, so make sure you check out all the documents before you list the products. And then also there are service providers out there that will be able to provide additional information to help you get started. And another thing about good product detail page is product image. So make sure your product listings are compliant with Amazon requirement. So for majority of the category of products, we require the first image to be on pure white background. So that's one thing to note. And there's also a dimension requirement as well. We can follow up with you guys on the details. And of course, if you're targeting US and Canada consumers, make sure the product descriptions are in English. And make sure that the way you describe the product is in the language that's familiar to the end customer. For example, if you're selling a dress, make sure your sizing is US sizing so that it's easier for a US customer to choose. And if your product has a measurement around it, make sure that you use the local measurement. For example, in US it will be inches or in pound versus in the metric system. And one additional requirement for creating your product listing would be around the barcodes. So if your products don't already have barcodes, so that would be universally recognizable barcodes like UPC or EAN, you could either go to GS1, which is the international organization that issues these codes, to go register your business and get the codes for your product. Or if you are a brand owner, you can go through the Amazon Brand Registry program to provide a few additional information around the brand names, brand image, product packaging with the brand logo, etc., so that we can register you in the system as a brand registered product. Then we will be able to issue system will be able to issue a series of code where you can use to list your product. And around category requirements, so there are two types of categories on Amazon. Basically, one is we call open categories, where you don't need to supply additional information before you start listing products. So these categories includes home and garden, sports, as well as electronics, accessories, etc. And then there's another category, a larger pool of categories where you need to provide additional information before we can give you the permission to list the product. So these categories includes apparel, shoes, handbags, jewelry, watches, cosmetics, and all the consumable products. So make sure you check out which category your product belongs to, and make sure you prepare all the required information before submitting for the approval. And a quick overview on the sponsor products tool. It's a pay-per-click advertising solution. So it's a bidding keyword targeted ads as well. If you want the bid, your ads will be shown along with the search result in a few in the first few pages, so that you get more traffic to a new product listing. And you have the full flexibility of deciding how long you want to run the ads, how much you want to invest in the advertising. And last but not least, the Fulfillment by Amazon program. So Fulfillment by Amazon program allows you to focus on developing your business versus worrying about making sure the customers get the orders, making sure you handle the returns. So leave that to Amazon and use the Fulfillment by Amazon solution to help you scale your business worldwide. If you take a look at the screen, there are a few key stats that you should keep in mind while choosing logistics solutions. So first, the Fulfillment by Amazon solution is already widely used by many sellers, and they are specifically useful for Amazon Prime members. So Prime members will be able to filter the products that's only fulfilled by Amazon, so that these products will be showing up with the Prime logo. And customers definitely love the free shipping, which is covered by the Fulfillment by Amazon program. And you not only will be able to reach out to more customers, but the Fulfillment by Amazon solution will be able to help you expand your sales cycle, basically. So if you are fulfilling your item from, say, Australia into US by your own solution, then it takes at least 3 to 5 days to reach if you're using an express solution. So which means and customer may choose not to purchase because they cannot wait for that long, especially during a holiday season where they for Fulfillment by Amazon products, they can get it the second day or even same day delivery. So this picture shows you how customers are filtering their Prime members, how they filter for Prime eligible product. So for all the Fulfillment by Amazon products, they will show up with the Prime logo, whereas the most loyal customers of Amazon will be easily able to identify. And the Prime customers will be able to enjoy free 2-day shipping, as well as instant video streaming, access to thousands of Kindle books. So they're the most loyal customer that you would want to target when expanding in the US. And a few simple steps of how to get FBA started. So first, decide how much inventory that you want to send into our fulfillment center. So right now, we don't have fulfillment centers in Australia. So all the fulfillment centers will be located near the end consumer countries. For example, if you're selling in the US, you have to do international shipping into the US with a third-party solution provider. So later on, Ozpost will be able to introduce their service that you will be able to leverage for that international inbound part. And Amazon will be able to receive and store your product in our warehouse. And once the customer places an order, our system will automatically notify the warehouse to pick and pack and ship your products. And the products will be arriving at customer's door free of charge 2 days for all the Prime members. And Amazon also takes care of the customer service, so you don't have to have someone dedicated to answering emails from customers around where are my products or where are my orders. And what's more, we also handle customer returns. So customer return is especially painful for international sellers if you are not using FBA. For example, if you would want a customer to return the product back into Australia, so the requirement on Amazon is, in that case, for international return, sellers need to bear the international shipping cost. Or if you could provide a US return to address. So with Fulfillment by Amazon, you can leave that hassle to Amazon. We'll be able to accept the returns back into our fulfillment center, and then we can decide if the product is resellable, then we will restock them. If it is damaged, then we can put them aside, and you decide if we want to destroy them or have them returned to you. And a few key requirements to start before you get started. There are different seller types, so there could be in enterprise or individual entity. When you start registering the seller account that you need to provide in the process, and then you need to have a bank account to receive your payment. So Ray from WorldFirst will later on will be able to introduce more around how you can get paid from the Sell on Amazon program. And also, you'll be required to provide credit card information upon registration. So that's for the monthly fee, subscription fee that we will be deducting from your credit card until you have enough sales in your payment account, where we will be deducting directly from your account before we disperse the rest. And of course, as mentioned, very important to have high quality product content, including image and description, and as well as to provide customer support in English. And in the case of Mexico, make sure you have customer support in Spanish as well. And the selling fee for the professional seller account, monthly fee would be $39.99 US, and referral fee depends on what type of product category you are selling. So for example, for consumer electronics, it's 8%, and the rest of the categories, most of them are 15% based on the landing price. So that means if you charge additional shipping price, that will be also included in the base for referral fee. And if you're using Fulfillment by Amazon, there will be additional inventory storage fee, order handling, pick, pack, and weight handling fee. So in order to help you better understand the cost involved and then help you decide your product pricing, we provide the FBA revenue calculator, where you will be able to enter and compare different fulfillment channels, and in the end it'll tell you the margin impact and then the cost you will incur, your product will incur using the Fulfillment by Amazon solution. And the link will be sent over to you as well in the follow-up email. So to give you a idea of roughly how much it's going to cost. So if you're using Fulfillment by Amazon to fulfill an iPhone case, so it will be roughly around $3 for us to fulfill that within US. And lastly, we are offering a JumpStart program to help you get started within just 4 weeks. So this is a special program that we launched for Australia to prepare for FY for 2017. So we'll be offering one-time listing creation support free of charge, and we'll be able to assist in category approval to help you identify what are the materials or documents that you need to provide in order to get a category approval, as well as register for the brand registry program. And we provide also a dedicated business consultant to guide you through the launch process, coach you on how to increase your sales, and we'll be able to credit you for sponsor products to get you started on that tool as well. So the eligibility criteria for the JumpStart program is that you have a minimum of 40 SKUs, so 40 products, If you're a brand owner and you have less than 40 SKU, feel free to reach out to us after the webinar, and we can make a special case. And of course, willing to invest in producing high quality of product listings, including image and description, and commitment to get started within 4 weeks. So the 4 weeks program would be as shown here. So week 1, we can help you get your seller account registered, get started with the category approval if required, and then help you in week 2 list your product. And if you can pass on to us your raw materials, such as product image and descriptions, we will be able to create the flat file for you. So the flat file is a tool where that's available in Seller Central for bulk listing. So you don't have to list your products one by one, where we can offer the help in terms of creating the first flat file. And we can also help you. The dedicated consultant will be able to help you review your product listings, offer suggestions how you can improve and get more traffic in the future by providing a compliant product listing. And in week 3, we can help you get started in the Fulfillment by Amazon program. We can help you identify your top selling items that you would want to send into the fulfillment center in US, as well as help you get started in the shipment creation process. And in week 4, after the products arrived in the fulfillment center, so sometimes if the shipment is larger and you're using ocean freight, it may take longer than a week for the product to arrive. That would be okay as well for the JumpStart program. And post-launch, we can offer 3 to 6 months of account management service free of charge as well, to help you identify opportunities to grow your sales. So in order to be part of the JumpStart program, only thing that you need to do is to use this link that we will also be included it'll also be included in the follow-up email to register your seller account, so that we will be able to recognize you from the program and be able to follow up with you and offer additional support. Okay, so now we'll be launching a poll, and if you can take about 20 seconds, 10 to 20 seconds to answer the few questions, then we'll be able to better support you in the coming weeks for the program. Okay, so 2 polls. All right, so that's all about sell on Amazon and how to get started. Now, Jean, hand over to you.
Good evening. Ooh. Thank you, Maya from Amazon Global Selling Singapore. Good evening, everyone. I'm Jean from Australia Post. Sorry, everyone. Okay, tonight we're going to look at some of the opportunities and challenges of expanding into international markets. We'll take a look at North America and Amazon in particular. We have some special offers for Amazon sellers, and we'll give you a special sneak peek at some of the things we're planning for you in 2017. This year, worldwide B2C e-commerce sales are predicted to exceed $2 trillion US. This signals the irreversible way that e-commerce is changing the way we shop and consume globally. North America alone is about a quarter of global e-commerce at $538 billion. The Asia Pacific region is growing quickly. It's up 20 or 25% from 2015. That's highlighted rapid growth in the Chinese market, and there's still room to grow. E-commerce in Australia is about $14 billion if you're looking at physical goods only, and $18 billion if you combine that with digital goods. Australian businesses have some big plans for international expansion. We surveyed 1,700 Australian businesses that are selling internationally, and we're getting some interesting results. 74% indicate that they plan to expand into 2 or more markets over the next 2 years. Mostly, they were planning to expand to China, the US, and New Zealand. It's great to see Aussie ambitions growing. But as with all opportunities, there are also some challenges that must be overcome to succeed. 59% cited local knowledge, language, and cultural complexity as the highest barrier to growing exports. Regulation was also perceived to be a barrier. Everything from red tape to the role of government agencies in business can be difficult to decipher. Payments, and in particular, some traditional cash economies, make customer billing and charging tricky. Lastly, understanding tariffs, quotas, duties and taxes, and licenses and permits and logistics were considered to be barriers to growing exports. Fortunately, between Amazon, Australia Post, and World First, we can help you to develop business strategies to overcome some of these challenges. The USA represents an affluent market of 320 million people with high internet penetration rates of 84%. Online shopping is correspondingly high, and an average online shopper's basket here, on average per year, is over $1,800 US. It may surprise you to know that 18% of e-commerce here is spent from Australia. American shoppers, by their nature, are frugal and responsive to social media sales promotions. Amazon is the dominant B2C e-tailer here, with a very high market share. In fact, in August 2016, Statista.com reported that Amazon Prime had 48.6 million users or subscribers in the United States alone. That's twice the population of Australia. Amazon Prime members spend, on average, 1.8 times more than a regular Amazon customer, indicating high levels of customer loyalty and a conscious decision to shop more and benefit from their annual Prime subscription fee. Making it easier to access the US market is important to us. Australia Post is proud to say that when the United States aviation security screening requirements change on the 1st of July 2017, we're already ready. We've achieved X-ray expanded requirements in good time and more than 6 months in advance. Also, we're happy to say that the USA has increased their duty-free threshold, and it's now $800. And that not only reduces the cost for you exporting and the paperwork, but it also enables us to make speedier deliveries. So what's in demand in the US? Fashion. Aussie designed fashion makes up about 1/3 of the product that Australia Post airlifts from Australia to the US. Pet care, electronics, and cosmetics are also very fast-growing categories. So then, the question is, how can your business access this huge potential market of English-speaking customers? Amazon's a great channel, but also consider how you will tell the story of your brand and your product. Americans are very social, and establishing a presence or blogging on networks like Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube in particular can help you to differentiate your products and establish a long-term brand relationship with the customers you want to target. In particular, one of our customers, Meshki, has a great story where Kylie Jenner, one of the Kardashian clans, took a snapshot, a selfie, of herself in one of their dresses, and Meshki found very quickly that they sold out. So there's an example of how social media is powerful in influencing buyer behaviour. Australia Post has two distinct smart supply chains for Amazon sellers. The first is our business-to-consumer network of literally thousands of points of presence from our business hubs, local post offices, or 24/7 street post boxes. Your parcel can be sent direct to the consumer's home in any destination country, tracked as it leaves the country, on landing, and at delivery. Last mile delivery is done by USPS. The second option is our bulk freight option, which is specific for fulfilled by Amazon customers. This is a bulk freight service and is a door-to-door, business-to-business service. We collect your product from 45 kilos to 2 tons, and we collect it from your warehouse and factory, air freight it to the US, where we facilitate customs clearance and payment of duties. We book the delivery into Amazon fulfillment centers for time-slotted delivery. Typically, it takes about 7 days once all of your documentation is complete. One of the key advantages of using Australia Post, particularly over this peak period, is that we have multiple entry and exit points into the US. This means we can often avoid congestion or bad weather and provide superior transit times into many US locations. Australia Post and Amazon have joined together to offer Amazon sellers significant discounts from the usual postage rates offered to the US. These rates are offered to customers who sell on Amazon and contract with Australia Post. No volume pre-commitment is required. Just contact us at shipamazon@ozpost.com.au. Our exclusive deal for Amazon sellers includes our speediest courier offer, Express Courier International. It comes with full tracking, signature on delivery, and speeds of 2 to 4 days into the US. We're pleased to offer flat rates for express items of up to 2 kilos of $30. Unlike other carriers, when we say flat rate, we really mean flat rate. We don't apply volumetric charges, and there are no fuel surcharges or surcharges for deliveries to remote areas in North America. This gives you price certainty when you're selling online. Pack and Track International is also a fast way of getting your goods to customers. Although the delivery speed globally for this service ranges from 3 to 10 days, the average speed into the US is 5 days. Our flat rate of just $23 for up to 2 kilos is very attractive. Just a reminder, avoid delays and provide the right information up front for a smooth customs clearance. You can see the fields that would need to be completed to ensure that smooth clearance. Coming up in 2017, Australia Post will have new domestic offers for Amazon sellers, but can't say too much at this point in time. Stay tuned. We'll let you know more. So we all know that free shipping is a great way to influence buyer behavior and encourage sales. Here's another great example of how helping your customers to easily buy online can generate repeat business and higher basket sizes. Easy returns done well influences buyers' loyalty. This example on the screen is from an online beachwear company. On their website, they clearly outline their returns policy and the process to support it in both New Zealand and Australia. This includes a step-by-step guide for customers to follow of how to print their label, where they need to lodge the item, and the refund process. This customer saw their basket sizes increase from between $60 and $70 to 80% of baskets over $99 within a month or two of changing their returns policy. Watch this space. In 2017, Australia Post will launch our new return service for the USA. Maya mentioned that Fulfilled by Amazon does have its own return service. This return service will be for those of you who select the self-fulfilled or the merchant-fulfilled network within Amazon. Just recapping, Australia Post delivers to 190 countries. That's more than 320 million delivery destinations worldwide. Let us extend your business's export reach and potential through our partners such as USPS, Amazon, and the very strong e-commerce partnerships you can see on the screen. In conclusion, selling on online marketplaces can be a cost-effective entry strategy to new markets. It allows you to test your products and to optimize your approach. Amazon is the dominant online market for the United States and many other markets, and there's a very strong demand for Australian products. Without further ado, I'd like to introduce Ray Ridgway, Chief Commercial Officer from World First, who will explain how you can better manage your payments and foreign exchange.
Thanks very much, Jean. So hi guys, my name is Ray Ridgway. I work at World First Foreign Exchange. So tonight what I'm going to do is go through some details around your foreign exchange and how can we can actually help repatriate those funds from all your sales online and bring those funds back onto Australian soil at the best possible price. Now, foreign exchange is actually one of the last things that are thought about when looking at selling your products overseas. But in fact, it actually probably should be one of the first ones, as it can cost you up to 9% on your bottom line. Whether you're paying overseas suppliers in the UK, China, USA, or you're repatriating your funds from sales from overseas, there's a cost that World First can actually help reduce for you. And we tend to actually save around 50 to 70% of the current costs of clients that we service in this area. So tonight I'm just going to go through the choices for getting paid when selling on international marketplaces and setting up international marketplace bank accounts. Every cent you save is technically money back in your pocket, which you can basically use to buy more stock and actually encourage those sales going forward. Now the first slide that I'm going to go through, please, I'll walk through it, but please don't be overwhelmed with all the boxes. So basically there's two ways in which you can get paid via an international marketplace. So first things first is getting paid by the actual marketplace. And what tends to happen is that the marketplace pays you in the currency that you're selling your products in. So if you're selling in the USA, they'll pay you in USD. If you're selling in the UK, they'll be paying you in GBP. If you don't have a local-based bank account, then they'll actually transfer those funds directly into your Australian bank account. The alternative is obviously opening up a bank account with World First, and we can actually open up a local-based bank account that Amazon will pay directly into. So I'll start with the right-hand side. Number one, normally what happens is people actually pay for their overseas products. They'll pay their suppliers and get all their products drop shipped in the USA, or they'll be using fulfillment by Amazon. Effectively, you'll then move on to bullet point number two, where you'll sell your products in the USA via Amazon. You'll then look at your sellers will then pay Amazon in US dollars. And from that point, there's two scenarios. So Amazon will either pay directly into your Australian bank account if you do not have a US dollar local bank account. And what actually happens is those funds are actually converted at a bank rate, which is around 4.5%. So when you're receiving those funds into that Aussie dollar bank account, you've technically lost in conversion around 4.5%. What then happens is you go through the cycle again, paying your overseas suppliers, and again you're probably paying around 4.5%. So both those together, you can look at paying around 9% of your product cost when purchasing those products overseas. Now, the other alternative, as I did mention, is actually opening up a World First local USD bank account. Amazon will then pay into that USD bank account at around 50 to 60% less on the costs. When you're actually receiving those funds, you actually don't get charged for that. It's only when you're actually looking at removing those funds out of that bank account and either paying an overseas supplier, paying those funds in US dollars, or looking at converting them into Australian dollars is usually where you'll get a charge from World First. But again, just to reiterate, that is around 50 to 60% of the costs that are currently being charged. So on a simple payment of around $20,000, you'll be looking at generating or saving yourself approximately $1,200 for that transfer. Now, with your World First Online bank account, the solution is it's basically a local-based bank account. You get great exchange rates when you're doing those transfers, and this is matched with premium customer service from experts in marketplaces. And they have expertise in all types of marketplaces in terms of the processing, selling products, and how to get yourself set up on that. So that really does help when you are looking at starting out on these marketplaces. We can open up bank accounts immediately in the USA, UK, Europe, Japan, Canada, and China will be very soon. You can view your account balances online and make transfers 24/7 in just 3 clicks. You have access to receive funds from over 70 global marketplaces and payment gateways into those bank accounts. Those bank accounts are actually bank accounts, so you can actually hold funds and transfer those funds when the rate actually suits you. So what you might have actually noticed recently is we've had quite a fall in Aussie dollar, or a strengthen in the US dollar. It's moved actually around 2.5 cents in the matter of the last couple of days. So that's a further 2.5% that you'd actually be making in terms of profit on your product if you can actually hold those funds offshore at the right times. You also get access to rate alerts. We can put orders in the market, so you can get alerted by text message or emails when certain rates are reached. And for budgeting purposes, if you've got low-cost products with low budgeting prices, we can actually help you lock in those profits for the business. You know your selling price. We lock in your cost price for you. And we can lock this up for 2 years, so you know exactly what your cost is and how much money you're going to be making from these sales. And obviously the benefit is converting your funds into Australian dollars or paying into a USD bank account for yourselves. And if you are looking at paying overseas suppliers, please do speak to our consultants for more details on how we can actually action that for you. Now, I always get asked these questions, so I'm probably going to jump the gun a little bit here. Just 4 questions that we get asked quite frequently when it comes to new sellers selling in Australia, selling on international marketplaces. So first things first is, does this bank account or this service from World First cost me anything at all? No, there's absolutely no cost to register your interest with World First. If you're not yet ready to sell, still register with us so that we can still communicate any of our press releases that we've got, discounts, webinars, and any other associations that we're going to have with Amazon going forward. But we might not allocate you a bank account right there and then if you're not ready. But there is no cost at all to register and receive these bank accounts for you. The other question is, can I pay my overseas suppliers directly in USD from my World First bank account? I'd love to say yes straight away to that. It is something that we are looking at doing. We are, in fact, doing some test payments as we speak, so this won't be too far off. However, it is an AML regulatory issue that a lot of providers do experience. So it is quite difficult to tick the boxes and set up a foreign exchange company, pay overseas suppliers, and actually have holding facilities on those bank accounts. So it actually is a difficult hurdle to overcome, but it won't be too long before we can help you make a payment directly from that bank account. In the interim, we do have a solution that you can actually pay your suppliers in USD. So please feel free to get in touch with us and we'll walk you through that solution. Third question is, how do I know I'm getting the best value on my foreign exchange payments? So there are a handful of providers in this space, but not many providers give you the best of both an e-commerce and a supplier payment type option. So check with your provider that what fees they are charging you, check what exchange rates that they are charging you, and also check whether these exchange rates vary according to the size of the transaction that you're doing, or whether they are a set rate. You definitely try and push for a fixed rate going forward, so you'll know exactly what your costs are. And make sure they're not, the providers are not offering you what we call honeymoon rates, which is just a discount to win your business over, and then those spreads actually, or margins actually, start increasing as time goes by. More importantly, do a comparison if you are, or best yet, sign up with a company that offers a price promise or a price match guarantee, and it'll actually save you the time on doing a shopping around. It does cost, it is a bit of a pain for a provider to actually, for you to move across and open up another bank account. So most providers do actually bend over backwards to a certain extent to win your business back. This is obviously under the circumstances that the product that you are comparing with is like for like. The last question that we usually get quite often is, does World First only service online sellers? So no, it's not. We have 3 different types of services that we offer. One is in the private and individual space. So this is the likes of people moving overseas and looking at transferring their money. They're immigrating. They've got mortgages overseas. They might have kids overseas that are doing a bit of a gap year. And sadly, mum and dad have to top up those accounts. So that's in the private space. We also service the import and export industry, so businesses, SMEs, and that's a foreign exchange service that we offer. But we also offer strategic advice as well, which is getting to understand your business, why you purchase your currency in that particular way, and providing solutions to help you buy your currency smarter, protect yourself against falls in the market, and just basically offer you the best service and best rates that we can. The last service, which we've spoken about a little bit tonight, is the online sellers service, or the e-commerce service, and that's where we actually open up a bank account for you and actually facilitate those repatriations of funds back onto Australian soil, or paying same currency payments as well. So tonight, just for everybody who is attending, we do have 2 discounts tonight. So just use the tag phrase, either Amazon Go Global Selling or Think Global, Think First. For anybody who's a new seller, you actually will get your first 2 payments into that World First account transferred completely free of charge. So whatever those payments are, you're looking at about 9% savings. All you have to do is register your interest before the 30th of November, and that free transactions will be maintained until you are ready to start selling. If you are already a client of World First, I know we do have quite a few attending this evening, we are offering a 50% discount on any transfers costs that you have for the remainder of 2006. So that could be a supplier payment that you've got to pay before the end of this month, or it might be an e-commerce account that you're looking at setting up and receiving your first payment. So just let us know. Please do feel free to email us and contact us on the numbers provided. So thanks very much, everybody, for your time. We are going to open up to questions and answers going forward. So I will pass back on to Maya, who will handle these first questions, and we can go from there.
Ray and Jean. So we'll start our QA sessions now. We've already received a few questions, so I will just go ahead and start answering the Amazon ones. So first question was around packaging. So the seller was asking if they have separate packaging, how is that managed? So for Amazon Fulfillment by Amazon FBA program, when your product arrives in our fulfillment center, it needs to be retail-ready packaging. And in the end, we then will put an Amazon box outside of it, or it could be also an envelope as well. So make sure it's retail-ready packaging, and so it's okay if it is a separate packaging. I guess that would be the question. And what would be the benefit of fulfillment by Amazon? So just let me go back to one of the slides on FBA. So actually, I was kind of skipping quite fast on that slide. So just want to reiterate the benefit of fulfillment by Amazon. So the top one would be reaching out to Amazon's Prime members. So the Prime members are, as mentioned, the most loyal Amazon customers, the repeating purchasing customers, and they will be looking for Prime logo products so that they know these products, they will be able to get free 2 days, free shipping 2 days, and guaranteed that it's of high quality of service around the fulfillment experience. And besides that, we will be able to offer you more support in terms of customer service and handling the return, so that you will be able to focus more on developing your product, marketing, sales, etc., versus having someone there pick and pack your orders every day and answering buyer emails. And so third question is, what would be the minimum quantity required for FBA? So there is actually no minimum requirement. There is, however, a threshold for a new seller on how many units you will be able to send in the warehouse. So for all new sellers, I believe for regular size product, it will be within 5,000 units, and for oversized products within 500 units. So below that, you will be able to decide what will be the quantity. And strongly recommend you use the FBA calculator to decide like what makes sense for you to get started. And we have a few questions around the JumpStart program. One is, does the minimum 40 SKU have to be in one category only? So the answer is no. So it can be spanning across different categories. And if you're a brand owner, as I mentioned, some brand owner would only have 1 or 2 products. So if that's the case, in the follow-up emails, so as long as you provided your interest in the poll, we'll be sending a follow-up email and guiding you through and deciding when you would want to get the 4-week program started. And then you will be able to reach out and say, I've only got 1 product, I'm a brand owner, and we can make an exception as well around that. The second question is there a date that you need to get started in the program? So the answer would be covered in the poll as well. So if you tell us that you want to get started within the next month, then that's when the 4 weeks program start. So if you need additional time to prepare your products and create listings, etc., the content, etc., then we'll be able to help you after you decide to start. So I would definitely recommend to start after Christmas, because during the holiday season, we wouldn't recommend new sellers to getting right away during this peak season, but more to prepare and get started in the next year. And if you're familiar with the holiday seasons in the US, actually this Friday would be Black Friday coming up, and then the next Monday is the Cyber Monday shopping spree on Amazon. Just keep an eye out for the news, and also if you want to get some good deal, feel free to leverage the promotion on Amazon as well. We do for some products ship to Australia. Third question around JumpStart, what is the support after JumpStart? So the program's purpose is to get you started. So after you've complete the 4-week program, of course, we will decide with you how long we can offer additional account management support. But even if after the account management support, there will be seller support team that's 24/7 able to answer your questions. And then we do have materials available in Seller Central, which is the tool that you will be able to use to manage your account. Videos and trainings available there as well. Fourth question, if you already have an account, can you qualify for the JumpStart? Again, the purpose of the JumpStart is really to get you started. So if you already have an account and is selling already, then the program may not be the most beneficial for you. And you're encouraged, welcome to join our following up seminars or webinars around FBA or sponsor products. So we do plan to roll out regular trainings after this. So watch out your incoming emails around the program as well. And the last question around JumpStart, is there a minimum amount of product that we can send for the program, or if we can recommend a quantity? So again, in terms of quantity that you want to get started in the Fulfillment by Amazon program, make sure you do the homework beforehand, research on the competitors' products, your pricing, and this before you decide like what would be the best quantity. So we can definitely, our consultant will be able to follow up with you to jointly decide on that part as well. Okay, so that's the questions I've got so far. So Jean, if you can start answering yours.
Thank you, Maya. How is everybody? I've got a couple of questions here tonight. The first is Australia Post going to change their flat rate kilogram charging to volume cubic starting in 2017? The answer is that Australia Post is committed to charging only a deadweight for international parcels. This won't change, and the flat rates shown are guaranteed for sellers on Amazon. I also had another question about what's the secret comment. Please just stay tuned. We'll let you know more as we're ready. They were the only two questions I had, but I believe world first, Ray, I believe you've got questions.
Thanks. Yes, thank you very much. So I think we answered quite a few in the frequently asked questions area already, but one quite good question came through was whether we are regulated here or hold an Australian financial services license in Australia. The answer is yes. We are a regulated entity here in Australia. We hold an AFSL here. So should anything happen, you can always reach out to the powers that be and the regulators. And this is across the board for World First. So if you are dealing with whatever office, you will tend to deal with the Australian office because you are based in either Australia or New Zealand. But every office around Australia, around the World First, is regulated and holds their own financial services license. In Australia as well, we also have a CanStar 5-star rating, which is outstanding value for international money transfers. So feel free to Google us. We've got quite a bit of stuff in the press at the moment, so you'll probably pick up some great awards that we've won over the recent months. So thank you very much for the question. I think that was all the questions that we had on this side. I don't know if anything's come through it at all.
Hello. Sorry, I was on mute. So we have more questions coming in. One would be, do you have NetSuite ERP plugin? So I assume that's a question around API. So we do have API open, and there will be supporting or help guide that can help you get started by integrating different systems and managing inventories. And we have another question around if
Maya, before you
seller
go
has
any
over
further,
40,000 products online, should I start with a bunch of B2C products to test? So definitely do a bit of research on the competitor side. So on Amazon, if these products are already there, will your pricing be competitive, adding on the logistic cost? And choose some hot selling items first to get started. If you want to use Fulfillment by Amazon plus the merchant fulfill solution, then you can list all of the product. So we do have API open, so you can sync your products on multiple platforms, and then for the high priority ones that you can start with Fulfillment by Amazon, and the rest you can choose to ship from Australia directly as well. And on another note, so the benefit of FBA is that we do support multi-channel fulfillment. So if you're selling in the US, either through your own website or a third-party marketplace, we will be able to fulfill those orders as well. So you can ensure that your end customers get very short lead time in terms of getting the orders, as well as consolidate your international shipping to lower the per unit cost. And oh, another question is around the fee. So if it takes 3 months to sell a product, do I pay a fee for storage until I sell, or will I only pay once I sell? So the storage fee is charged based on how much space your products are taking in the warehouse. So that will be charged daily, or yeah. So it's not like only when you sell we will charge the storage fee. So the storage fee is we start to calculate that as soon as the product arrives at the warehouse. And for the other fees around pick and pack or weight handling fee, then that depends on how much units you're selling, how many units are selling. What tools or integrations are available for managing inventory and orders with Amazon FBA? So there's in Seller Central, the store that you will have itself, there are tools, reports available for you to keep an eye on your inventory level, as well as set up alert when the inventory goes low. And we also have selling coach, we call it selling coach, that will send you nudges around selling tips, as well as opportunities for you to grow your sales. And if it's on, can we go back? Sorry. So if it is that you're trying to manage multiple platform inventory, then we do have the API open, and then you will be able to use some of the third-party tools such as Channel Advisor to help you manage your inventory across different marketplaces. Okay.